2 Emma Club Brugge to win.
Ebisa us ni omu yebomu. Omu yebomu. Aha nti kahwe nanka
yembo video.
Yembo video na amanfo mu se nya agro ni yedi wo ha o. Hwe. Eno aye nyina hye ye ho kufu. Se wandi bidia ne wa wasama. Wandi bidia wa wasama. Nti no o hwe na wabo video no ama wo hu se enra de ye de ba udi bi. Ti untumi nka nche me se enra wani bet. Lalai obu akra enra udi. Nti Code virus hwe ama wabo video no na fe bibia atumi akoye ha sports arena shall say from now till 2:30 and ye be sorry nkunya so na before then ye be di kan a review endra Champions League games no na ye wi aye de waba be wuram ewo weekend games no weekend games no ye be koso na poso because na poso a e bia ye do English Premier League e bia be ka be 3 matches 4 matches yakọ French League 1 yabo be mienu miensa so yakọ Bundesliga ni yabo kakra so sa yakọ Italian Crunch Serie A yabo so na yaba Spain na no so yaba be bobo so weekend we Real Madrid na Espanyol na ebo yes small match sa match ni hun under pressure le sa match no under na me yeden me hu no. Yes, nti yemko and right us near the buy na boy no nti me de no me option me de ba ene Club Brugge and Monaco Club Brugge home no draw Copenhagen ne ba Leverkusen win no Copenhagen ne ba Leverkusen over 1.5 and Eintracht Frankfurt ne Galatasaray win Manchester City and Napoli. Manchester City home win. Newcastle and Barcelona away win or draw. And a Sporting CP ne Kirat Amati over 2.5 for sa game.
Okay, me odds ni 10 odds MYBET.AFRICA. Copenhagen any Bayern Leverkusen win or draw 1.5. Newcastle any Barca win or draw 1.5. Sporting any Karamat and no Sporting win 1.5. And Manchester City and Napoli both team to score over 2.5. Monaco any Club Brugge and handicap of 2 to win. And Frankfurt any Galatasaray multi goals 1 to 3. Code no KOTNY MYBET.AFRICA.
Yes, so my daily chops for games no 5.46 odds. So Club Brugge any AS Monaco game no over 8.5 corners. FC Copenhagen any Bayern Leverkusen over 1.5 goals in that game. Eintracht Frankfurt any Galatasaray game no over 8.5 corners in that game. Manchester City any SSC Napoli over 1.5 goals in that game. And then the Newcastle any FC Barcelona game no both teams to score. Code no FGNY on my bets.
All right. It's nyame adoma otna ana enwumre enwumre me se bra na bewe so na ye enti me de no me option me de ba ene Club Brugge and Monaco Club Brugge home no draw Copenhagen ne ba Leverkusen win no Copenhagen ne ba Leverkusen over 1.5 and Eintracht Frankfurt and Galatasaray win Manchester City and Napoli Manchester City home win Newcastle and Barcelona away win or draw and a Sporting CP ne Kirat Amati over 2.5 for sa game no.
Okay, me odds ni 10 odds MYBET.AFRICA. Copenhagen any Bayern Leverkusen win or draw 1.5. Newcastle any Barca win or draw 1.5. Sporting any Karamat and no Sporting win 1.5. And Manchester City and Napoli both team to score over 2.5. Monaco any Club Brugge and handicap of 2 to win. And Frankfurt any Galatasaray multi goals 1 to 3. Code no KOTNY MYBET.AFRICA.
Yes, so my daily chops for games no 5.46 odds. So Club Brugge any AS Monaco game no over 8.5 corners. FC Copenhagen any Bayern Leverkusen over 1.5 goals in that game. Eintracht Frankfurt any Galatasaray game no over 8.5 corners in that game. Manchester City any SSC Napoli over 1.5 goals in that game. And then the Newcastle any FC Barcelona game no both teams to score. Code no FGNY on my bets.
All right. It's nyame adoma otna ana enwumre yeah enwumre me se bra na be so na yeah. Enti won say corners no na as a D we nya Vincent oko Frankfurt de ne Gala de no Frankfurt ne Gala oko 8.5 but almost about
7 corners here.
About 7 corners. And no per any they say. But 2 ne de ye de 2 no. Maybe also number 15. Because a win or draw keke no. Club Brugge win or draw na 150. 150 pesos. Me call a Barcelona win or draw. Me call Man City straight win. Now Man City straight win 1 city 70 pesos. Ana a Galatasaray ne a match no. Me call win. 1 city 30 pesos for win no. And I'm a Club Brugge me call and then Copenhagen ne Olympiacos over 1.5. And I'm call over 2.5. Sporting. Into 2 way no 10 odds and a 15 odds. All the even all the 10 city 10 and all the 100 city 2 this one. All the 3 odds no na. All the 100 city 100 cities to swa. Boss
Calcutta 2,500.
Kusu. Ewo honum bonus so cause we trying to say aya bonus here dey was. It only entra and so ye dey beba. And then so ye dey ye dey beba. Ye be colleague nim ye be yin 1122. 1122. Na fi ya ye bibia kama dey ama. But before then no, Sharon say show me live. Ewo ABN Radio 1 Sasuna Street is watching ewo Facebook and I feel my bet now what in temu.africa and I for dot number Africa my bet Africa o come my bet shop bia retail shop bia oba hu se da so meti kutu me de da so ye cheche nsem ne mu ewo honum na emu ko YouTube dia e ho no e de papa YouTube no uninteracted koso wo ho eno ye MYBET.AFRICA TV na fi online radio near MYBET online radio MYBET omo ye brutal mo gbaduma papa and na me di omo send me message list to you've choppers na me who say me diska and me nkonko ya no mfo yi udi kura na omo pe account na delete MYBET dey omo send you text message o mpe we na apeka ya moto bo mo dey na ni omo nhwimo na bibia so ne den enkoye e wo honom ye nhwe MYBET education quickly na fi yemehwe games no weekend games no yema mehwe na yendi mu nkomo na de aka na nyina yemfamro okay man mo akwaba
yeah me juso
yeah yenhwe MYBET education
yes yenhwe MYBET education ye nim say weekend basa na investors yen da aba weekend num na eboye edwuma pant ene join Telegram ne ho ene e de quote ni na beto ama weekend we send ya won so betimi afiska MYBET.AFRICA weekend we won register at www.MYBET.AFRICA na register MYBET.AFRICA platform with that no unzu betimi aba join ni ebusuan no register 3 simple steps now so the ababa can ebusuan the first one your phone number ubo phone number ni shemu a na after we move call the next one when I do username username betimi edin bia opebia ubo shemu a na bibia koyi na after we password we password any confirm password we say anyama mienu we very simple password na but the same thing confirm password no send any bot register ne so na bibia to mu no ma send no verification now they are verify our account no ye ko weekend mu bet builder option in draw so okay games ye bobo so a bet builder option na na ye hihye yamfa games bebre in draw 6 games when e course so but 15 odds any 10 odds and no any bet builder na my bet e dey aba e dey boy enye bet builder ne pe omo de aka bonus in draw uhwe sika ahia uyetimi fa ya e kire bonus ahia MYBET dey attach ya my weekend we hihye bet unzu timi du ta 1500% aka bonus no mo omude ato wa man na weekend ye be hia Monday biom no onso ba betro comment section say my bet for bet builder ni aka bonus no amma fiska ahye bottom edu baby e bedu weekend ti ya e bet hye ne ye den nti my bet for the bet feet aba e ho no kɔ hɔ a expect omo me di bet na kɛse ahye bet egu ufa baako anu etimi a edit why changes baako mienu bi wom na ene onso de kakata e nti weekend we kwan bia so no ese utimi fiscal MYBET.AFRICA no ntina mka to say register na ba be ken busua no na onso ediska MYBET.AFRICA
register na be ka busua no na onso first card sese na ndra ye first ka kutu no yes ti ene ye videos ni ye de bet want ye de bet ye de us na ba na ebo a na ya ba be bo amode ayemo amode ayemo ndi no kure na me anim na amba ye waste time na wo hu kura na no club bluch a she 9 4 no mo share na Monaco team ba ko she no say Monaco ni di kan say penalty na club bluch for no soldier de go so 4 no mo je no mo team ba ko anso fati ni fi bench ebe ebo amanyama tumi ko ye Copenhagen so na only di 1-0 na che say free kick because so ultimate Grimaldo poor correct free kick pa 1-1 na che say ultimate Copenhagen for no mo din ofie omo koye no mo de ba akoko tum ntia ka me akwa say say omo 3 points na no na aye Leverkusen take no e wo 2-2 na ko ye e wo Eintracht Frankfurt enso Galatasaray di ka ko share 1 goal na Eintracht Frankfurt for no bu fu ye omo bo enum 5 eno mo share edit ya Galatasaray Manchester City share Napoli share so Napoli player friend Lorenzo enso no di red card in 25th minute e wo no man team the second half Abranti aye friend no aye Alexander Diku akwa no aba form brutal Arsenal fo wu wa ba form fucking enei ono ehye na asaso na Ellen Haaland akwa no goals a o hye na no odin pa Barca first half no na timi akwa as a game no goal bi anche dem second half and as so mehye Abranti friend Marcus Rashford all returning to England no 2 goals na second goal ni de onua and se woni se so okachire bulletproof panya na hye and as Abranti friend no Gordon Tony Gordon so no ate ekaba ko consolation na de mamu na Sporting CP eche Karat Amati for no ball mekanan mo muti mo ba ko a na enya senketo akura nti say na chess after match day 1 no Eintracht Frankfurt already can with 3 points PSG with 3 points Club Brugge with 3 points Sporting CP 3 points Royal Union Saint-Gilloise 3 points Bayern 3 points Arsenal 3 points Inter 3 points Man City 3 points Karabakh 3 points Liverpool 3 points Barcelona 3 points Real Madrid 3 points Tottenham 3 points Dortmund 1 Juve 1 Bayer Leverkusen 1 Bodo Glimt 1 Slavia Prague 1 point Pafos 1 Olympiacos 1 Madrid Atletico Madrid 0 and Benfica 0 and 0-0 for no to Chelsea mudi di mo ani ade e ho no nti eno ene eyewe the next fixtures no se na ebeye ni ma me nko fixtures ni Real Madrid be ko Kazakhstan no ne Karat Almaty be ko akobo Atlanta so betena fie no ne Club Brugge abo sa match na can tell you on authority Club Brugge for ko Atlanta Pafos enso ne ba Munich be ko Pafos Galatasaray so be host Liverpool be ko Galatasaray Inter Milan ne Slavia Prague Inter Milan be Slavia Prague Chelsea ne Benfica Chelsea be Benfica Atletico Madrid ne Eintracht Frankfurt Atletico Madrid be Eintracht Frankfurt Ajax ebe ko no ni Marseille akwa akobo Marseille be Ajax Bodo Glimt ene Tottenham Hotspur sa match no ebe ye 2-2 e ho Karabakh ene Copenhagen enye easy Karabakh ebe ye home win or draw e ho no sa game no na nka kiro Royal Union Saint-Gilloise enso ne Newcastle for ebe akobo draw ho PSG ebe ko Camp Nou no ne Barcelona kwa akobo PSG be ko she Barcelona Monaco ene Sporting Man City be ko she Monaco ena Dortmund ene Bilbao enye small match Dortmund be she Bilbao Villarreal ene Juventus be ko she Villarreal Arsenal ne Olympiacos Arsenal be she Olympiacos Bayer Leverkusen ebe she PSV Eindhoven ena Napoli ene Sporting CP Napoli be she Sporting CP nti where run of 2 games abeba on the 30th and on the 1st and on the 2nd. On the 1st and on the 30th. And as our games, you know, and you know, abeba so on the 30th of this month and on the 1st. And as our games, you know, abeba so you know, these are the games. Yanshe and Bra, Yanshe, Basta.
Yes.
And then
Indra, you're starting free Club Brugge and the Monaco game, and I think say Obia follow Club Brugge from the Champions League last season on group phase games on my boy, and now to say on home fixtures no, teams no home boy. Me nim the euphoria around that particular pitch, especially for some of the clubs who send a Feyenoord, even the likes of Aston Villa, and against Monaco. Performance wise with these two teams, on the last 2 meetings on Monaco team pick a victory against Club Brugge, ending in a 4-0 and another one ending in a 1-1. So going into this game, no being himself. It's ne back obi a friend Club Brugge, but I at MYBET.AFRICA for the moment. Name Club Brugge straight to near 2.40. I just say, Uche no pempo 100 CDs Ubenyam fast 140 CDs which plus bonuses. Inti going into the game now with odds no ebo we ashefo kakra but so share in the game they made sure say they would come into the party and show say ene bibia betimi akwa. But I think that penalty miss was something they decided the game no for team friend Monaco and also Club Brugge, because if that penalty happened then ene otimi share ya anka the game would have changed. Okay, bia Monaco be a lot of pressure making sure say me put the game to Club Brugge, but scoring twice in a row within a 7-minute gap but I and I think say going into the Champions League see I know say any Champions League game if Club Brugge able home I say team or option I will pick it because a team be on home form no and I was impressed by the way they played, scoring 4 goals against Monaco Copenhagen any Bayern Leverkusen him say no menya a bad patch coming from the start of the season with Eric Ten Hag with a new coach coming in picking up first win in the Bundesliga, so no person carry that momentum into this game. But I think say the bebo Copenhagen abaso one thing I must study in this season's Champions League is say teams now yen time they come into the game and perform so well. Copenhagen game on Bondra getting that goal, Grimaldo with a wonderful free kick within the next 5 minutes almost share another goal to make sure say game beat me. But I think during the last embers of the game now it's confidence no also game no me win then an own goal like Emma Bayern Leverkusen. So it's a big wake up call for Bayern Leverkusen, especially in the Champions League. Say you need small team be about Champions League no. It's an away game against any team. I say want to team ball home or they send ya ubet me pick that crucial point. Frankfurt and Galatasaray, I think that was a surprising result for me. Now me kai say ndra ye kofi ni edi nkoma aka chem say Galatasaray defense ne de o ma sabuta na ndra uhwe game no ma defensive errors at the highest level in European competition. I think Galatasaray coach omumpeni for na so mtimi e bibi fa team no because untimi mbo against Frankfurt with errors leading to goals almost 4 in the game a cosium and uko share the likes of Man City, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Real Madrid, the Chelsea more be punish you on any moment and I think the Galatasaray could have one of the best attack in the Champions League, but defensively are very poor. Intinendra Omutimiko Lusu a 5-1 to team friend Eintracht Frankfurt. With Manchester City Napoli game no. One thing about this fixture Andra is here. Last season the European phase starting no. Manchester City first game of boy against the Italian champions, that is in Inter Milan, as our game ending in a 0-0. So going into this game, not my being I say Upe will be a bit defensively solid against Manchester City, a team friend in Napoli. And coach wait me didn't start to Pep Guardiola super a friend Antonio Conte, because the time was spending with England on Pep Guardiola share 7 times or she move 4. Until going into a game like this, on him send Manchester City ball, on him the way a Pep Guardiola a forming a team, on him the way a Pep Guardiola beat me aba beshiano. Into quite biasono or Ben Adris or Ben Mafia Pep Guardiola. But I think the decisive moment was the red card by. And after the red card, there's so you key man that is Kelvin De Bruyne film. No, to me, Eddie another defender, Bemo bet me, Echiwo bet me, I solid. But Man City took advantage. Erling Haaland being the fastest player to score 50 goals. And I think, say, Haaland, your player be bet me, it me do the level of we break that Messi, Ronaldo, mu goal scoring record now. Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, these are the two players who bet me about. Nandra getting that goal was something that was a good stepping stone for him and also a milestone for him, and he's looking at now making it 100 in the years coming up. Jeremy Doku, I think when the Man City set up a player to see our back form in this moment, I may bought Jeremy Doku in because of week in week out or making sure say yeah sister or she go at the Abua Manchester City. But I think investors will be over 2.5, if you move over 3.5, no money say goes bet me about a game number. But Manchester City, it means a decisive win now, and I'm also no or multi pick that 3 points. The highlight for the night was the Newcastle Barcelona game, and I think with this game, we share St. James Park atmosphere, no, from minute 1 to minute 25. List to Inca Newcastle were Alexander Isak up front. I think the Newcastle would have been 2 goals or 3 goals up by that time. Create a lot of chances. The pace of Anthony Elanga, na Gerard Martin known to me, or the ball and I think say boss ni baby do the final third, boss ni baby do that penalty box area no more, not striker be anymore. And in Ghana, I was very surprised say or started with Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, ewo number 9. Ebrano, we have friend is Nick Watamada, a woman with aerial duels. Where Barcelona, their tallest player in their setup, near Rashford, 6.1. Oshe Newcastle team numa, their tallest player, Watamada, 6.6. Into any, the best solution is say, over that number 9, unya ball na moon crossing to box room, height in Barcelona side, Nate Mia Bomba, going with Anthony Gordon, going with Elanga and also Harvey Barnes, Emma Pace up front, it's me.
I think they didn't take their chance because it was working.
Yes, it was working.
Glorious chances to at least score the first goal, but they didn't. To me, so I think the coach was spot on.
Yeah, and I think that during the game, Hansi Flick used to be who they were. Now Newcastle for person almost set up and no energy to be close. That was when it took. Game numa. It took a type of play outside the Barcelona books and a winning game because in Barcelona a team here mostly they would like to pass the ball more, get the ball into the final third, now maybe Ubia Ashe. But in Russia with Marcus Rashford coming from the wings, so Timber shared that header and also that shot from nowhere was something it was a big trademark for with Marcus Rashford from the Man United days time and now or at the peak, And in draw now because now the likes of Thomas Tuchel stadium so your England national team coach now you score this type of goals to help your team to win. I think that it was a good thing for Barcelona and going forward they have difficult games next month. Thomas Ambeba back to England against Chelsea, so Barcelona will be too quiet as by England. They are looking at trying to make sure say their trips to England would give them good results. On the Newcastle side, Joe Linton, Tonali, Gabriel with Bruno Guimaraes, Infinfino was very solid. But after the game, Anthony Gordon Becker said, we're against Liverpool, we're against Man U, we're against Chelsea, we're against Manchester City. But with that Barcelona midfield partnership between Frankie de Jong and Pedri, on whom be that? Because Utimu said they slowed the game, dominated the game after the 30th minute mark. They took possession and made sure say Newcastle for the chase ball and it helped them get that 2 goals on Mutimina. Sporting Karat Amati. I think in draw, one of the highlights was a goalkeeper, Ochima Karat Amati. And Oshena, your friend Kalmusa, we did 18 years, on a better Champions League game. Their first goalkeeper in an injury, and on weekend game on board, their second goalkeeper and super key injury. So now the only option I know was that 18-year-old goalkeeper, Obeba Bedem Amom. Now Osha the height and in Yama Listo, na Kwame Bisuwe, but he did some amazing saves in the game. 4 crucial saves. And now goals or conceded was 4, but Osha crucial saves, even to the extent of saving a penalty against the captain of Sporting Lisbon, which was a decisive moment, a boosting the confidence. But I think defensively, the team now bueno, and we don't expect a team like Kamati being able to stand Sporting Lisbon for 90 minutes. So they did their best in the first minute to 40 minutes. There are young chaps coming in with short on target and in Yama, but Sporting should say about the Champions League and they wouldn't repeat the same mistake who said Benfica. That is on Tuesday. And they chances that they need to score and also put in those goals. And I think there's something that is a big highlight for them as a young goalkeeper, getting your debut in the Champions League at the age of 18 and also saving a crucial penalty. Though he conceded 4 goals, but I think what you take home is being part of this Champions League team and also saving that penalty. In the Champions League games, of course, so they are investors face and I think going forward, no, you bet me out to Nyama. Now Champions League, there's what type of show we are in the Champions League.
Strength to hop.
Do Champions League, who will be who they call YouTube now download the video and put later. Now share analysis no. Now also fire or bet MYBET.AFRICA.
Right, inti eno komo na yegu so a yedi honum eno komo ye ndra game no na yedi hu komo nti ye behwe na fe ye Vincent the review of ndra games no na ye wia na yetumi aba behwe weekend game no na fe ayewe de be koso no ye de atuma ni mesanse na weekend no maka cho ye be ko team bi emu ye ko fa ba ko na ya hwe na yede atum na fe bibia so atumi akoyi yede atum na fe bibia atumi akoyi eho no enti yes enti ema ya Vincent akwaba na fe won hwe endra game no sani ho na Barca etumi copy vital win last minute na say scare be said yede baba then they were able to cross the line. Napoli started very well, but red card a disappointing. And Galatasaray obi himself just signing so my ya aka Gundogan oma fight this in do Edison and Bobby as soon as Abrante Feno Osimhen is injured, but they have Lorenz Sani and a few players who more
quality
now expected Sanka Frankfurt but they were demolished near that the interest are games enough.
Yeah,
weekend games.
Okay, virus list to mention it for na for you now. I think say and now you return say another group of games, especially started Tuesday, you know. And virus they are branded battle so virus be check you see the last time Frankfurt for a ton who go Ekitike, you know. I know say people remember when me buy analysis on how Omoyoma, especially selling 2 key players from almost set up Russia. Amaton 2 attacking players in a brand and the Omar Mamouche, especially in the January transfer window to Manchester City. And then a brand say now only Mamouche able to top, which is Hugo Ekitike. So a continuous season with the fantastic numbers. Also, Liverpool for have a fan with probably one of the biggest transfer fees for players, strikers are you from the Bundesliga about the Premier League. And to be very honest, I knew that the game was going to be very difficult for Galatasaray, despite the fact that they were going into the game. Although they had Aknu, their captain. Mama say Victor Osimhen. I knew it was going to be very difficult. Now, the last time I remember Frankfurt for selling Hugo Ekitike and how they've been doing their Omajiatum said they are selling club. And what they do is in as much as they want to be a selling club, they also want to be at the top there. Because at the end of the day, say Frankfurt who bought Champions League. Now only the likes of other teams almost a selling club elsewhere AP players are. Definitely you get them. So their president, their coach, and their technical directors are doing everything possible. They want to get players to come and play for them at that very level. Now, before Omowabeton Hugo Ekitike, they had Jonathan Bakat. I mean, he is going to lead the lines for them. He is a player that played for Mainz 05 last season. Oshe 18 goals in the Bundesliga. 18 goals in the Bundesliga. And they oba Frankfurt. About 2 games for Frankfurt. Onyanshi go. But he's leading the lines for them because he's a player that was having a fantastic season, got injured. And then the by 18 goals, 2 assists. That is 20 goals in 29 games for Menzo 5 in the Bundesliga. In fact, he scored more goals than Hugo Ekitike in the Bundesliga last season.
Okay.
So he's a player that Obabe replaced him. I remember when Chelsea was also searching for a striker, Ubaye joined about Brentford and El Wahi from I think Oko Marcel. He's also a player that no lens, Salis Monenebo. And then massive for Kofan by now also a Frankfurt, and also another player, honestly very young. In Jonathan Bacardi, who is the number 9 player for Frankfurt. He's one of the oldest players in almost set up in 25 years. Now I know a branch about Kosanso Shego, your friend Uzun. He's also a player, Kan Uzun, also a Turkish player. In the Uko Turkey national team now. Uko Turkey national team now. Oni Ada Gula. Any Kenan Yodismo. And then the lines for 8 man at the Turkey national team. No. And no, at least he's also a player, Frankfurt for Ekokofa Nebai. With Omu data system. Now he's a player that was playing elsewhere for 8 man there at Nuremberg. So last year, he played 20 games, scored 4 goals, and then now because Hugo Ekitike Ekore, Eddie Omama Mushko is also not to start as the second striker to Jonathan Baccard. And listen, this season, out of the 3 games apparently Edekan Yilmaz Uzon, also the Yilmaz also have watched 3 goals, listen to provided 2 assists for Eintracht Frankfurt. So we have Frankfurt team now. They are a selling club, but they have very good players. They have players at any given day. Or make me provide a good results. About to Asha. Them scoring Galatasaray wasn't something I was not mere surprised. But I knew that it wasn't going to be that huge goal margin as in a 5-1 goal ultimately winning. So victory, the Omania side victory, especially I think so much important in this year's Champions League league phase near say you have to get a lot of goals. Some of the teams they failed to qualify automatically because of the number of goals they conceded.
Okay.
We also saw some teams almost end qualify because almost ball playoffs almost team. So to me, I think it's a very good opportunity for Frankfurt for them to get this emphatic victory. And then City for them, I think after losing to Brighton, Pep Guardiola can say, the team, there's a lot of players in new players, and they are trying to do some 1 or 2 changes. And I'm very happy say Phil Foden has come back to the best. And you see, the last time City edge league, Phil Foden won the PFA Player of the Year. Mm-hmm. And with the absence of Kevin De Bruyne and Ryan Cherki, one of the things that a lot of top clubs didn't want to sign him was the injury history and the injury record. He came into the City setup, looked like a player who can do so much for a Manchester City team. But then again, another injury and in a full Foden, Etimi Abba, all stepping into the shoes. And Cinnamon man can. Erling Haaland, Abba be the fastest player to score 50 goals in the UEFA Champions League. 49 games, was 50 goals. It shows that or average 1.1 goals per game in the UEFA Champions League. So to me, they did a very good job. Enra, definitely that red card now, Di Lorenzo Gino, probably maybe it changes the dynamics of the game. It changes how some of us were expecting second game in the Betimiyako. Because when they lost Di Lorenzo, who is the captain and also an integral part of the team, they had to sacrifice Kevin De Bruyne to bring in another defender. So it means that if you are playing against City 9 against 3, then you have to sacrifice a midfielder for a defender. It means that indirectly in the midfield, City be outnumbered. Even Paul with 11-11, they found ways and means to outnumber you in the attacking midfield. So to me, I think City had a very good game. Phil Foden has to pay up. The assist of Haaland share. Then Jeremy Doku so be a player that, especially this season, he's proven Omujama Jagrilish. There are a lot of things on also Doku. But in the last 3 games, list one she go assist against call Belgium. Even in fact against United, he provided 2 assists and then was answer go. So to me, I think that City shares, especially at the Etihad Sports Stadium, it's always hard for any other team to come in. But then it also shows that Antonio Conte, especially in the European front, he doesn't have a very good record in the European front. That is the Champions League. So I wasn't surprised. Now, Sporting CP Karat Almaty. It was a game that I believe was going to be an easy game for Sporting. I was hoping at least the scoreline or maybe when that's going to back Karat Almaty for with how they also qualified into the league, getting that at least consolation goal or something that maybe they needed. A more debut season, especially in the Champions League, and Sporting for they were always going to be the top side against Karat Almaty. And no game was a gamer, especially in the Champions League. A team took one with the longest distance from Kazakhstan to Portugal. A team playing the Champions League with the longest distance almost about to it. I think the miles was 4,292 miles. And that is the biggest distance between two teams or more, especially in the UEFA Champions League. So it tells you how far this boy came almost to beat Lucia. So they are one of the teams that people shouldn't underrate, especially like Paphos and the debutant almost Abba in the Champions League this is. Then our Tyneside, St. James Park, Newcastle, Barcelona. And how some of us expected the game to be in Saturday can buy Newcastle home, then you feel wait me maintain in the first 25 minutes. Definitely they will dominate the game whether you like it or not. They will be aggressive. But you see, Newcastle players, they cannot play aggressively for the entire 90 minutes. So whichever team it depends on the style of play, the character, and the mentality of the more players. Look at how Liverpool played against them. That game was one of the games I would bet to say. Now Liverpool they knew say Charlie ye call slaughterhouse because ye chinchima monsa ajomo best player from Muslim, and they believe that Omonia was him. So Liverpool arriving at them the day and a lot of tension was a game. They dominated the game, and to be very honest, if they had Wissa or Nick Votamadi, especially in that Liverpool game, they could have sealed that game, especially in the first 25 minutes against Liverpool. And then you that same thing. The young Pedri and Abraham and Fermin Lopez are not players that can go toe to toe in terms of duels, in terms of the intensity, But what they have, they say, you use your quality to outsmart opponents. Same as Newcastle for the So Barca for no, how well composed and again, our money born. You say you look at Pedri. Whenever pressure was to be on, say born call Frankie De Jong. They have ways and means to calm the situation. Pedri Jiboa 2-3 players on his speed, but he has ways and means to dribble past any players to calm the game for Barcelona. So in the first 20 minutes, Newcastle had their moment, and we've said it, especially in the Champions League. There's a reason why Champions League, team BR for the first time, eco final on team engine. It's a big stage, and only countries or more other countries never, but with different qualities, with different style of play. So you have to adapt and own moments. And then that first 20 minutes, our momentum utilizing. Although their game plan normally come if you come starting Nick Votameda, probably maybe you come to me and control the game like how they wanted to control the game, because Ubo have the bands, Ubo Ilanga, Ubo Antonio Gordon. They will have the energy to press. They will have the energy to run in behind. But Nick Votamada, they had Abritize Araujo, who would have obeyed Votamada toe to toe in terms of the Awandene area abilities. But they chose to go for players who are fast. And now Ilanga, Jababo to Jerry Martinechi. Ilanga was said and cry. He had ways and means to go and pick the ball. And I think that Ilanga so great because the intensity of the game and Barca HS when it comes to say young building from the back, they're a very good team. And I will say about Juan Garcia Basso. To be very honest, he's going to be an integral part of Barca team this season. He's a very good goalkeeper, signing from Espanyol, and you know how controversial it is for Barca for team this time to say Omo captain, Omuyomo captain, wage bill, no, Kakrefi so every start Branton. And look at the number of saves Juan Garcia top saves. And if it wasn't Wangas and exploit it make keep Basa in the game, and also the midfielders and how they were able to compose the game. Today, Washa Anthony Gordon also Onyam ball against any better side than this Barcelona team. And look at Bruno Guimaraes. Also, in the interview after the game said, Barca for no hard ways and means to control the ball. Send your Newcastle fan brain. Newcastle, Uko St. James Park. The first 20 minutes, if you are able to contain them, avoid them from scoring. Now, also to me bad game anymore. You have to take your chance. General, Barca for try a lot of games. Nick Pope and make that huge save from Femi Lopez boy or boy. Danny Olmo boy or boy. And look at Marcus Rashford. And always be Manika can say football. Always in the story, exceptional, but a tie repeating home. There's a reason why Marcus Rashford call Barca. Some of us believe that, especially in this game against Newcastle, or no England, ye Kokobo no Chrome. The Uyi Barca team na player. Only Newcastle year per air Marcus Rashford, and in fact, what Chair said, Yabani Chrome, he knows the Newcastle team more than any of the Barcelona team, and I know any studio up to score his first goal and his second goal on the night. Na England national team head coach, Thomas Tuchel, under the light. So to me, I think that they did very well. There are a lot of instances, who former players coming back to hunt their former teams, and also players familiar at a certain ground also hunting these teams. So I know the Barcelona were the favorite. They use the experience and almost use that pedigree more at the European front, to beat Newcastle. And I think that Newcastle for now, any team be or by Newcastle be say go forward there. Uti Hansi Flick also catching the man and say they should be able to contain them first 30 minutes. After that, they should just play their ball. And after 30 minutes, they should try and score. And if you go to Musha, that header from Marcus Rashford and that technique, oh boy, the share was exceptional goal. So to me, I think Newcastle definitely, the news was going to be a very top gamer on Money Barca. But to me, I mean, they did very well, and Barca deserved the win on Munya.
Okay. Now weekend games Barca. Weekend games Barca. Mumaya Mobo games. So we are near measure. The top liners. So we do a combined 11. We expect us our combined 11. We be posted Amana Kwabontin. Combined 11 of Man United and Chelsea. Then Man City. Then Arsenal. Games.
Okay, so here weekend games that starting free 11:30. That is Liverpool and Everton game at Ebebason. I think the Merseyside derby say open fixture bia every time bia Emma that atmosphere, Emma that feeling of footballer is the Merseyside derby. And I think that this time Liverpool with record they could come, especially going into games or person or last minute. That is something at the Merseyside derby every time bia ma. Yenim said last season Tarkowski with that last minute goal mutiminya mom that 2-2 results going into the game Liverpool almost 5 games on my board this season in nano making sure at least no can share first Intinosha against Crystal Palace back to Bournemouth even on my last game on Burnley boy any Atletico Madrid every time bia Liverpool first team to score into on the night so who say and on the day who say Liverpool the kind at what tonight man one so come MYBET.AFRICA we option back one make us a bit there to go to James so quite be so no Liverpool a bit me now going into the season and so up a team a band the second half you nim go share uyi or your joint now on 11 goals about the second half goals so Liverpool to score in the first half and in the second half fixture with likely say bit me about Everton. On the other hand, in their 9 games, Liverpool they find it very difficult. And the other thing is, David Moyes as a coach, every time we are visiting Anfield, in his 9 times, even with West Ham, with any other team, so this fixture a play in the hands of Ancelotti. Say ne on them branch and bet me about more than I'm making me pick that victory. But one thing I mean when they say this will be a game we surely know Liverpool would concede. Because this season their defensive structure is very bad. So the likes of Jack Grealish, Beto, last season or tormented Van Dijk mono or buy into the game about tormentum. So I'm looking at this game as a Liverpool win or draw and over 2.5. Mamira or lineup no mukakra. Will line up wise in Drum Bekan was
time now
11:30. Yes.
Sure say goes Beba game.
Yes, goes Beba. This season 11:30 games on my boni na average a lot of goals over 1.5 or so with Liverpool any the way Everton, so who's a Liverpool find it very difficult to maintain their victories. No, almost better try some take advantage with Liverpool. Say them kind, they would parade another lineup surely without an Englishman in their setup, and made him say baby there will be the English media trying to fight against Anyamawe, but that is something that the football has evolved, and that is something I'll be looking out for. From the Everton side, may want to see the likes of Jack Grealish, Jules Briho, any Beto, any India leading their front four. Maybe with that press, with that strength up front, they can get 1 or 2 goals against Liverpool. So I'm seeing a Liverpool win or draw, and also over 2.5. Yeah, share Hoffenheim any Bayern Munich, you're German Bundesliga and man. If Bayern Munich this season, we're born home or the Vincent Company. Means Maka said last season or the Bundesliga, but now Timu said they are still works and so you with team. But this season, now he's putting in a lot of work. So share the way they set up their structure. And they go into game not being afraid of their opponent, and they try to dominate when they get a chance. Usha Hoffenheim and the last 8 games were about 7, both team to score a ball. Into only team be about likely say Hoffenheim be share team news be share. So on this day, so who's the results na kwa Bayern Munich ka share na Hoffenheim na share man enyo and Hoffenheim last 9 games on my bono emu 8 average at least 4 goals in the game. Into your fixture based on Hoffenheim side, I'm looking at this fixture bringing a lot of goals, especially going into the weekend. There is no other Champions League coming up. No, Bayern Munich, Bernard, so we're going to more force and try and get what they want to do. Bayern Munich in the last 13 games were about no di kan first goal, no first goal or call echo winning game no. Until on the day the Bayern Munich di kan share enyem on this mihun is a Bayern Munich will surely get a win. And there'll be a goal option, and Bayern Munich will score 2 or 3 goals in this game. It is a MYBET.AFRICA with the option of Bayern Munich straight win, both team to score, and also Bayern to score 2 or 3 goals in this game. My bet for bets with that option, and they are available. My Brighton and Tottenham Hotspur and Thomas Frank this season in the Premier League. Upe coach about the clean sheet. Obetimi keep clean sheet, and the last 4 games were keeping 3 clean sheet at home. The only game when to me and keep clean sheet was against Bournemouth. Apart from that, according to any game, they go in very strong and try to keep the clean sheet. Brighton, on the other hand, the last 16 games we keep it just 1 clean sheet. So meaning say Tottenham were the upper hand to get goals against him, my friend Brighton. Brighton, and so in the last 10 home games were about muba coupe and waiting me a tasty defeat. Into we winning 6, about draw 3. Into the home form, going into this game, especially facing a team like Tottenham. Now, we Tottenham, average in their last 12 away games, they have averaged at least 2 or more goals. Into no stat wise, game no any balance. Because this is a team finding it very hard to keep clean sheet, but the home form very good. Or sign a team being so or team no any Bible bono or quite away biana 1 shine 2 the obeshe. So going into this game, I'm looking at Thomas Frank ever back into the game to try and set up in a way say they are going to maintain that clean sheet keeping and also get a goal against Brighton. And I'm seeing Tottenham scoring at least 2 goals. Send your stats in the channel. Say they in their last 12 games, 12 away games, with me actually 2 goals. Okay, on my last meetings between these 2 clubs are averaging a lot of goals. 4-1, 3-2, 2-1, 4-2, 2-1. Interchese over 2.5. Both teams to score. The likeliest option I'll be MYBET.AFRICA. Both teams will surely score, and also over 2.5. With the performance Tottenham done it against Bournemouth, I think Thomas Frank very correct. This is who said now any game team near Usawu we go in well prepared, and I'm seeing a lot of goals in this fixture. Real Madrid any Espanyol game ebekoso, and Real Madrid team now discipline wise in the top 5 European leagues. Team I made say they are undisciplined. With a red card to make me pick going into the season. I'm pick some in the La Liga, even some in the Champions League. But Adeba say Real Madrid on lose in the opening fixture. On lose in the opening fixture from 2021. All the home stadium. Inti you say omutimi pick a win, and then against Espanyol, Real Madrid still has the hand to be able to take advantage of Espanyol. Real Madrid last 10 games in all competitions. Me 5 red cards in APM. Some cars said they are one of the teams that ban is a discipliner. Untimi for Monkau. In this game, booking Tiadeba and Mekofo. surely they'll be booking Espanyol Bernard Dream, so beko boot to boot with the likes of Kylian Mbappe, with the likes of Vinicius Junior, and also the rest. Real Madrid in Finfio, almost be bundia and making sure say Bibia beats me akoye. From the Espanyol side, no, the last 5 La Liga games were abuna no penalty a bit sa game. To make a penalty, Real Madrid is a team be but the penalty nya. They are surely winning penalties. In the game way, say if there's a penalty, a better game no many more because these are two teams that one concede penalties a lot, and Real Madrid on the other hand, on penalties or team they convert a lot of goals. This is one fixture I'm looking at Real Madrid winning, and so become MYBET.AFRICA player to score. Kylian Mbappe is likely to score on the day. Share the game at Real Madrid Air Comua. They are going into the game playing 4 games, winning all. And also goals of my conceded this season in the La Liga too. So I'm not expecting Espanyol to also get goals against my friend Real Madrid. I'm looking at Real Madrid winning, Real Madrid scoring 2 or more, and also Kylian Mbappe also scoring a goal. And then once Kylian Mbappe beats me, 2 or more goals. It's a player to score 2+ MYBET.AFRICA on Kylian Mbappe ubeti me afa, and also Real Madrid to win and over 2.5. Pese me real one fixture in the Premier League, that is Man United and Chelsea. We have fixture we are time bia meka fixture we nye form near the ball, because every time bia United will form Chelsea either end in a draw and a Chelsea picky win. Chelsea will form no ko Man United Chelsea picky, that is a draw or be lose to Man United. And their last meetings Old Trafford, the last time a Chelsea picked a win Old Trafford was a 2-1 in 2010. In the Chelsea are called 15 years at Old Trafford without not picking a victory. And it shows the caliber of gamer and never become. And a press conference, coach a friend Ruben Amorim said, we're friends Mason Mount and also Cunha Toma, they can feature in this game. And also on the Chelsea side, no Omuni injuries, so this is a gamer going into this game. Obia well prepared. But I think the fixture be Gina 2 players, so Alejandro Garnacho and coach a friend Enzo Maresca say why prepared obetimi start the game no. And on the Man United side, they name him say Mason Mount moving from Chelsea to Man United, and so another player on obetimi nya start. So we see these 2 players playing against their former clubs. How can they perform against each other? Man United about the Premier League upetima or short pound and or short Man United. In the last 4 games, the last 4 home games, were both 94 shots. The likes of Mbuemo, Bruno Fernandes, Cunha, short no more bar, but into me and converted in goals. Man United last 3 meetings are on Chelsea abono. I call into an over 2.5. Into game way who goes be Bremanenya because both teams they come into the game prepared and they are scoring goals. I ending in a 2-2 in a 4-3 last season who Kopama Ebeje, that is Chelsea and a whole lot. Chelsea is a team bia. After picking that loss against him, my friend Bayern Munich, occur almost a 5-month run without not losing a game, including the FIFA Club World Cup and also some of the league games. Into going into this game, or back on track to make sure say that winning rate that not losing in a game no to also in the Premier League. We in the Premier League there are only 3 clubs and the Neomun tasty defeat here. Chelsea, that is Liverpool and also Crystal Palace. Into Chelsea Bernard Dreams or into the game to maintain that momentum. Players to watch on the day, I think Brian Mbuemo one player to watch, because we a player in the Premier League every time be on Chelsea share Otiminya a goaler Brian Mbuemo. On the Chelsea side, Kopama is surely the player to watch on the day. Getting a hat-trick last season that was Stamford Bridge against Man United. You come into this game and they were scoring form. The last 2 games were about 2 goals. So going into a game against a teamer Onu Kopama supporting and also a team with Timmy Shaw Muyeno or Bernard Dreams or Bayer. But I think the wild card players are making for a Mason Mount to try to prove something, especially with former waiting me pick it this season, and also Alejandro Garnacho. So will be proved to the Man United faithfuls or be proved to the Chelsea fans saying hey, about Chelsea by Bonnie Bra. It means that at Old Trafford he needs to get that goal against Man United. This fixture, I'm tipping Chelsea getting a win or draw and also a 1.5 in this game. Make sure teams in the lineup on Betimia Paridi Kaka. Man United, we may see that the Slemans getting the starting nod. You be that is Sesko and maybe Cunha starting, or Mason Mount going ahead of Sesko. Man United beko with their normal lineup. I name say with Lenny Yoro, Delete and also player a friend on Luke Shaw with you. On the Chelsea side, I think I wouldn't be surprised seeing something similar to what Chelsea paraded against Bayern Munich, but the only difference may be Estaval or their friend is saying player friend Alejandro Garnacho coming in to come and also help. Into I'm seeing Garnacho starting and maybe Pedro Neto starting from the right wing. Into Yenra Arsenal any Manchester City game, and I think this fixture be in the last 2 meetings. Arsenal ultimate to Manchester City found with you. So one it ended in a 1-0 at the Etihad, and another one that crazy result was a 5-1 for Arsenal. And then going into the game, Arsenal a favorite with injuries on Manchester City team. And I think say Arsenal this season among consider a goal from open play. And if you need someone to test, say the defense now really solid. I think the Manchester City side with Erling Haaland, he's scoring for fun. It's going into the game. Oshe Arsenal 9 goals or Masha. Emu 8 about before halftime. The first half 0.5. Eba game Wilma and Arsenal last 5 games on my bono. Last 5 games, emu be who are both team to score about. The last 5 games on my both team to score because defensively they are solid. It's either they are winning or team ni winning or no Arsenal in Shegu against Liverpool team share. In the Premier League season starting upe team or the best XG about goals Manchester City 8.5 in the first 4 games so likely say City bet me actually goals in this game way Manchester City in so last 8 games emu ba akupe and a both team to score ball. We heard this fixture I'm seeing Arteta being defensive in this game because when him say Manchester City be attacking more. And if Manchester City be attacking more defensively, so is solid. You against Liverpool, about 3 DMs in that midfield position. This game, I'm not seeing a lot of goals like the 5-1. I'm seeing maybe Arsenal win or draw, and also under 2.5 or under 3.5. Ewo sa fixture no more MYBET.AFRICA. I mean, we Barcelona any Getafe, and I think Barcelona any ukan team in the La Liga omobo momo di ambebo ni di account because any ebani teams omushe goals. Before halftime, how the Barcelona didn't account, and also into the second half, Udin didn't account. This season, only quita the highest 9 goals in second halves. Going into the games, Barcelona in the first half, when you're a good timer, in the second half, it at least a goal. Barcelona are considered just once in his last 7 meetings against Getafe. Into any say who said Getafe goals obey me asheno, me too. Into per option be the easiest. I bet Marco Getafe pay under 1.5 for our game no. Osha Getafe side on team board draw. Won the last 17 La Liga away games. So open both team to score. Open win-win. Send your neighbor also say be a Getafe beat me police surprise. Likely say game no me ending a draw. With this fixture, I'm seeing Barcelona winning, but I'm seeing Barcelona winning with a 1-goal margin. Getafe defensively solid. Though sometimes Barcelona team are the best out of them. But so last season, 2 meetings it ended in a 1-1 or Barcelona winning by 1-0. The last time Barcelona nya a maximum scoreline against Getafe was a 4-0. Apart from that, in the last 5 meetings, either it's ending in a 0-0 or Barcelona winning by 1-goal margin. So I'm not seeing Barcelona, even if they are scoring, I'm seeing Barcelona scoring maybe a 2-1 or maybe a 3-2 or maybe a 1-0 or a 1-1 win for or a 1-1 draw for that particular game. Until this weekend, listo you be remu near shisha games ama investors any ne almost bet me Africa weekend games ever course.
Yeah, listo. Let's start with the lunchtime kickoff and the early kickoff game because and when you say investors or multi and they know say early kickoff and they are mostly we know. Yes, we know the narratives surrounding that, but then it's Liverpool and an airball, and definitely mostly investors be now call. I mean, weekend anymore. They want to select big teams. You have to let them know what is at stake and what can happen for them. In fact, this is a game at least. It should be an easy game for Liverpool. Looking at their record against team and the Everton. This is a derby match, the Merseyside derby, and this game almost the 247 Merseyside derby between Liverpool and Everton. In fact, this game always Liverpool is at Edasro. if you look at our last 29 games, our my ball in the Premier League, listo, Everton are winning just 2. And the stadium they are going to play also is speaking volume. Because if you look at their last 18 games, our Anfield, Everton are winning just 1. It moved 4, I draw, and Liverpool have won 13. So looking at how Liverpool for us started season on a very good note, hoping say on beat me and maintaining the 100% record. But Everton team under David Moyes has been a team. I think that they also have a very good squad. Kenyan Dewsbury, Ndiaye, Jack Grealish, any bit of more players that they score a lot of goals. And if you look at Everton games so far in the Premier League, at least about 5 games, Ashes 7 goals. It means that they averagely 1.2 goals per game. But if you talk about the defensive side of the game, they are better side than Liverpool, because Liverpool for no every game they concede 1 goal. But Newcastle, average goal conceding in the game is 0.75. Yeah, sorry, Everton is 0.5. So to me, I think that it's going to be an interesting game. If you look at David Moyes, so we check it. Teams David Moyes akọ home timi enshebia. Chelsea Liverpool. Stamford Bridge wakọ 20 times without a win. That is David Moyes. David Moyes akọ Stamford Bridge 20 times without a win. It's either or draw. Stamford Bridge will lose 13 times and about draw 7. And same as Anfield. Wakọ Anfield 20 times from Everton to West Ham, whatever team he has coached as a manager. Anfield Anfield and Stamford be winning. Okay. While lose 14 times and about draw 6 times. To me, if there's going to be any upsets in this game, Everton surely the last time they won against Liverpool was way back in 2021. So and you say Omo Lusuda, but the thing is, they are a very good side. Omo Liverpool be a game because a derby. So there's a lot of tension in this game. And if you look at these two teams, ball 12-0-0 draws. So we might go into this game. Two teams are go scoring record, because Liverpool 2 goals per game. Everton 1.2 goals per game. And to be honest, definitely we are going to see both teams to score of 1.5. But listen, this game, history, the Premier League. Game produce a lot of 0-0 draws in the Premier League 12 times.
Okay.
And then they had the most fixture and the most game produce a lot of 0-0 draws in this game. So a lunchtime kickoff. You beat about game now, not Liverpool and Everton 0-0. We saw what happened against Burnley. That game, 0-0. So to me, Liverpool definitely playing at Anfield. Listo, they are the favorites. But it's a game that investors no more avoid it. The history of this game is about 0-0 and game also one of the fixtures in the history of the Premier League. A lot of draws in this game. I think it's going to be a very difficult game for Liverpool for them. They shouldn't underrate Everton. I think they are not going to underrate them.
Will not do that.
Their last 4 games, Everton are unbeaten. Apart from say underrated least, that long goal, they haven't lost. So Liverpool are not going to underrate this team. And Listo, I'll go in for Liverpool double chance. Then also the most likely option, save corners. So over 8.5 corners, game also one game at least it produce a lot of goals in that game. Then again, I will look into Man United and Chelsea game. In fact, it's going to be an interesting game. If you look at Ruben Amorim interview here, I think say it should give United a very huge boost. And then because I say Mason Mount, any Kunha, they are all players are returning back. They will feature into this game. And also United for now, in terms of goal scoring, they ensure any problem. Almost a team almost average 1.1 goal in their last 5 games. But Omunyan keep a clean sheet in their last 9 games. and they come to play against a Chelsea side who have scored 10 goals in their last 5 games. So, looking at how potent these two teams are, especially in attack, I think say I had a bit mean because Chelsea leads to a more average 2.3 goals per game.
Okay.
And if you look at United for now, Omar created the most big chances for United. Player created the most big chances for United, especially in their last games. Diego Dalot also ain't me about this game. So to me, I think say Chelsea to score Chelsea over 0.5 highly possible in this game. United issue is an system, but they can say there are a lot of coaches at least too. They know how to solve issues. Some people almost solve the defensive side anyway. Then they know that say give me a point. Even if I don't lose ground, I'll get a point. Yeah. So they solve the defensive stability first and suddenly how to create chances. But Ruben Amorim, they know more or less like the team is flying, they are scoring goals, but they find it very difficult to keep a clean sheet or to defend. And I don't see this United team stopping Chelsea from not scoring. So to me, definitely Chelsea to score highly possible in this game. But if you look at this game, other 17 teams are more Premier League since Ruben Amorim Bayern, more pointing. Ruben Amorim manager can the least point and the worst point, and then no Sergeant Ratcliffe and no the helicopter call Carrington and no paying Kokodinko, especially concerning the future. And a man some games they believe in him, but listo even the next 5 games of the boy results no Chelsea Koshano. Now United also games are after this game they will have no choice than to sack the manager. But listo, if you look at this game, why United are coming up on top in 2 of their last 11 encounters against Chelsea no. Almost last games are boy in listo near man time because if you look at United and Chelsea last 10 games are emu 2 Chelsea are winning 2, United are winning 2, and also United so are winning 2, then memu ba quiet draw emu 6 are draw. So looking at this game, teams are almost tertiary emu demand both teams regarding where they are playing, but especially at Anfield Old Trafford and emu demand Chelsea. If you look at Chelsea record against United at Old Trafford, the last time Chelsea won a game against United at the Old Trafford in the Premier League was way back in 2013. But in all competition, 2020 Chelsea went there to score them in the FA Cup 3-1 victory. And if you look at Omo games Chelsea they don't really have a very good record against 18, but only 3 Premier League teams along Liverpool and the Crystal Palace and the remaining unbeaten after 4 matches in this division. And Chelsea so almost a good record, especially in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. So going to this game is going to be an interesting game. But to me, I see Chelsea are winning 2 games. The last time Chelsea Asia United not all winning 2 games and now 3 games at also was way back in 2009 when Carlo Ancelotti before Chelsea. So Chelsea and Glasano among winning 3 games and 2 also against United since Carlo Ancelotti time. So the venue, the team, and the record of this fixture is mostly Muteshia and a tie ending in a draw. Okay. Chelsea tiny good record but losing to Bayern and how Chelsea want to make this season a very good one. I think it's double chance and over 1.5 goals in this game. No double chance for Chelsea, over 1.5 goals in this game. And I think United definitely will find ways and means to score, and we should expect a lot of corners in this game. And if you look at the probable lineup, coach say Garnacho likely to beat me starting. Mason Mount and Kunhaba, the coach can decide to drop Benjamin Sesko. Medican can say Benjamin Sesko games are so far one ball Ama United no. And she say on yet Adena coach but always I want to question say Jason Wilkes no man barada mo. Are they sure say coach no okay they move for Benjamin Sesko? So definitely if Mason Mount is fit, now the coach don't want to risk players that believe say especially that right half space. That right number 10 row no. These 2 players beat me about because I one game on my boy recent and 2 players they played Ahmad at that position. So maybe they can start Benjamin Sesko to just save some of the play because the next games are equally important. So to me, I'm going for a double chance for Chelsea over 1.5 goals and over 8.5 corners in this game. Both teams to score, and so are highly possible in this game. I will look into Kakrebi one Madrid game. See money mankind. They are going to miss Dean Harrison through that red card. Oh dear, because you're reviewing almost 2 games, just that game or Messi, and then again another player Messi this game. I think Danny Cavaya there, the red card was in the Champions League, so he'll be able to play in this game, and it's going to be a gamer, Trent Alexander-Arnold Bipra. But if Madrid will play Cavaya, Militao, Asensio, and Carreras, I think that Tchouaméni, Valverde, Goulet, and even Kylian Mbappe is a team. I don't think that Espanyol have a very good record against our team, but Espanyol team used to people shouldn't underrate them. Almost last 5 games are not even, in fact, go way back to almost last 15 games. Omunya Lusu game. Their last 15 games. Or the preseason to last season games, Omunya Lusu game. And they have a very good record, especially when playing against some of the big teams. But at Santiago Bernabeu, last 5 games, they haven't won a game. Almost last 5 games, Santiago Bernabeu, they haven't won a game against Real Madrid. And with the current form, Kylian Mbappe, Franco Mastantuono wanting to make a statement, and Vinicius Junior, if Onya Northern Sanso start here, he will try and make statement. I think this game is a game Madrid for winning, but Madrid for winning by a slim margin. Looking at how our game because Espanyol also a team at least when they go away, almost last 5 away games, they haven't lost any of their last 5 away games, and any time travel they find ways and means to score. The only time in their last 5 games Omuko away or go was game of money Girona ball 0-0. So to me, Madrid team no defense or very open, and I see Espanyol scoring in this game. So Madrid to win, both teams to score over 1.5 goals in this game. Then Barcelona and so Ebebo Nyamyaduma over the weekend. The Omoni team and the Getafe Ebebo game we almost no ewo Omebo Munjik Obombo Johan Cruyff Arena ho, and I think it's going to be an interesting game for Barcelona. They are looking at league table this year. Barca what 10 points, Madrid a lead. So the moment Uber drop a point, last season look at the point gap by Madrid Barca DJ league need free Madrid for them. So against these 2 teams, definitely they don't like say opponents type more. But to me, I see that it should be a gamer. Barca beats Marine. Definitely they won't rush Lamine Yamal to start. But Rashford getting these goals against Newcastle, Pedro, Dani Olmo, Fermin Lopez, and Robert Lewandowski coming back fully, and also Rafinha should be a gamer. I think Sebastian beats me pick the victory. Very easy, especially against Getafe. Arsenal and City bebo. It should be a gamer. That man for Arjun Bekoso. Osha Arsenal and City are listo. Their recent encounters mostly I am in favor of Arsenal. Last 4 games, Arsenal winning Mutu, and the Mutu are in draw. Especially Arsenal airboy Emirates, a very good record against Manchester City. In 2022 and 2023, City got. Since then, City last 2 games at Emirates, Nina Arsenal and Sanso. And if you look at the table this season, Arsenal are a perfect squad. They have somebody who can slot in the goals for them. They have another players omit me a lot of things at me their mom. If you look at this game, Victor Gokres, the head injury doesn't look so serious. Obet me starting. A Beriche is at any given day. Noni Madueke at any given day. Obet me I exploited that space to meet mania. All Arsenal has to do is they have to take their chances. They are playing against Manchester City. They have players who can create for Erling Haaland, who he's one of the best strikers, arguably the best striker in the league. So the least chances are Man City players bit me Ayama or Erling Haaland or bit me their 2 at them. To be very honest, looking at Arsenal form this season, me the miscover to Arsenal. I'm going for a double chance for Arsenal. We should expect it should be a gamer. MIA goals, because if you look at these 2 teams, their last 5 games are emu 2 MIA under 1.5 goals, and emu 3 MIA over 2.5 goals in this game. So definitely history of this game, no. Anytime they are upset, baby, no. A one goal margin, and almost 0-0 draw. So it's either Arsenal will win by 1 goal margin or City are going to win by 1 goal margin. But enya dey ticey. So that will be the upset I be a bit in this game. A 1 goal win for City or maybe a 1 goal win for Arsenal. But aside that, history didn't change a game where a game it provided over 2.5 goals and both teams to score. So I'm going for double chance for Arsenal, both teams to score over 2.5 goals in this game and over 8.5 corners our game with Mulisto.
Okay, Mama share a combined 11 for Man United and Chelsea.
Yes.
Then starting with goalkeeper. Sanchez and
Buying there.
One of them.
Well, I think Sanchez being known ahead of buying there. Yeah.
And also
Definitely Sanchez between United 2 goalkeepers. Sanchez is ahead of these 2 goalkeepers.
okay, so right back position. Osha Rhys James obviously and Man United so Mazrar
I think Mefa Rhys James based on say even the right wing back position, he goes ahead of Maserati on any day. Yeah.
Then the 2 centre backs, Chalobah and
Delete.
Yeah. Chalobah need delete.
Yes, I think performance-wise, this season in the Premier League, the Chalobah are ahead of Delete, even with goals and also contribution defensively.
Okay. Then Yeni Euro, and so tossing. Says it's a tossing.
Okay.
Why not?
I think with Omutu, no, the recent games and PK make for tossing because on any day Lenny Euro be ahead of him. But her errors are Lenny Euro are yet leading to goals in the Man United team. At a young player, yes, there, but I think with time, no, tossing ahead of him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, back line, right back definitely.
Either yes, where to see
Lenny
so right back
Rhys James
two center backs.
Let me be so Rhys James and Mazwari. Why not?
Definitely, I was Rhys James will start.
Okay.
And in the center back position, pair no. Check United team defensively.
Chelsea yeah, delete and Chalobah. Why now best starting?
Chalobah the highest rated defender in the Premier League. Maybe I'm half okay. So definitely I'll start Chalobah ahead of
Chalobah.
Yes, I'll start Chalobah.
And
Lenny Euro need Tosin. I'll start Tosin ahead of Lenny Euro.
Okay, left back no Udogu. Any Cucurella.
I think with way and even any debatable because we share Omutu Cucurella mass ahead of Udogu, so make for Cucurella ahead of him.
Okay. Also,
definitely Cucurella ahead of Dogo.
Now midfield Treno, double pivot. Caicedo ne Ugarte.
Caicedo on any day.
Caicedo Ugarte.
I think I'll start Caicedo.
Okay.
Bruno
Fernandes ne Enzo Fernandez.
Okay, wait, I know make for Bruno Fernandes ahead of Enzo Fernandez.
Definitely Bruno Fernandes.
Okay. Then the
right wing.
Never say the right wing. That is
Esteval.
No. Neto. Pedro Neto ne
Brian
Mbeumo.
Okay, omumienu ebanu contributions and goals. I make for Brian Mbeumo ahead of Pedro Neto.
Okay.
I think Mbeumo will be ahead of Neto in that regard.
Okay, all right. Kupama ne Cunha.
Kopama ahead of Cunha.
Palmer ahead of Cunha in the Martin position.
Left side. Garnacho. And Garnacho by Enche. Sebi out there Gittins. And
but say no best start it be best start Garnacho. Also I ready so best start.
So we are looking at a player from United and Nachos who will start on
the bet Garnacho ni maybe Ahmad.
So
Garnacho ni Ahmad. And Gittins ni Ahmad because Garnacho I feel no join the team.
I think Gittins ni Ahmad they are make for Ahmad ahead of Gittins based on performance.
And strikers no.
Jao
Pedro and
Sesco. I think on any day Jao Pedro ahead of Sesco.
Definitely Pedro ahead of Sesco.
It's Man United is saying 3 players.
Yeah, that's 3 players. Ahmad, Bruno,
and Mbuemo.
Yes.
And Chelsea.
Occupy 7.
All the 7 position. Right. Until moment share awesome. Okay. Time also.
Okay. Until odds no. And then Friday games odds and then more odds mean Friday games and also the weekend games and so I want. Until Friday games no first. Okay. Yeah, so with Friday games and then Porto airball into Porto win or draw 1.5. Ferencvaros game or boy and Ferencvaros to score 2 goals. Stuttgart any St. Pauli handicap of 2 to win. Lecce any Cagliari handicap of 1 to also win. Lyon and to game or boy Lyon to score 2 goals. And St. Patrick's game on also against Galway and no 1.5. Code no 70 MY MYBET.AFRICA.
Yes, okay, so my selection for Olympic Lyon any Angus game and a belt builder option. Olympic Lyonnais to win and over 1.5 goals in that game. Stuttgart any St. Pauli game now. Double chance, that is 1-2 home or away. And I need over 2.5 goals in that game and also a belt builder option. Then my last game for Real Ave any FC Porto game no. Porto straight win. Code no 9GMY 9GMY on MYBET.
Okay, inti no na me so me de na me ye no. Me ba no ma boso kama e de ama na fe bibia atumi akoye. Me ka che se me yi no 1-1 de me ka se me yi no 1-1 no 2-2. Lyon any Angers. Lyon home win. Porto any Real Ave. Porto away win. Liverpool ne Everton match no. Match Everton handicap 3. Everton. And Werder Bremen ne Freiburg over 1.5. Bayern Munich any Hoffenheim. Bayern Munich straight win. Burnley any Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest away go. Real Madrid any Espanyol under 4.5. Nantes any Rennes away go. Verona any Juventus win or draw. Udinese any AC Milan away go. Atletico Madrid any Mallorca. Atletico Madrid go away win or draw. Monaco any Metz. Monaco home win. Bayer Leverkusen any Borussia Mönchengladbach. Bayer Leverkusen win either half. Borussia Dortmund Wolfsburg over 2. And Marseille any PSG over 1.5. Inter Milan any Sassuolo. Inter Milan win. And Barcelona any Getafe. Barcelona win. Na ene matches no nko ano. Ene matches no. Meba. Mekwa Akwashia ene obo home. One Al Khalij over 1.5 sa game no. Ana Al Ali bo home. Al Ali win either half. Ana Al Ali Saudi ene Al Hilal ne over 2.5. Ana Sparta Prague and Sparta Rotterdam ene FC 20. Sparta Rotterdam handicap 2. Stuttgart ene St. Pauli over 1.5. Olympic Lyon ene Angers over 1.5. Shamrock Rovers kwa away on Cork City ene Shamrock Rovers win either half. And St. Patrick Athletic FC on Galway United. St. Patrick no home win or draw. And Gent ene Denda EH ene Dent home win or draw. And Porto ene Real Ave. Porto win either half. Into where me us wotwa no ɛyɛ 50 cedi a ɛba 1000 50 cedi ɛba 1000 nti na 20 os ti monje na mfa mbɔ mata so nyame adom a na adom de Monday yɛbɛba na afɛ de aka kyerɛ nyinaa yɛde abram yakram